Hello everyone! Today we're gonna talk about fairies! That's my best attempt at Mr. Crocker. Anyone watch Fairly Odd Parents? Anyway, we're gonna be talking about a singular fairy, a Clefairy. And Clefairy is a very, very interesting Pokemon when it comes to single form Pokemon. Clefairy's level up moveset is fine. It gets a move that puts things to sleep. It gets a badge boost move. That's cool. Where Clefairy really shines is its TM moveset. I mean, it's like barely appearing on screen. It's huge. And this is both a good and a bad thing. The good thing is, well, I mean, what's the bad thing? I'll tell you in a second. The good thing is that you have a ton of moves to choose from. What's deceptively bad is that the moves kind of double up. Like Thunderbolt and Ice Beam, for example, hit similar things, right? And they're both special moves. Clefairy actually doesn't have strong physical moves like Earthquake, for example, which would really help it versus Agatha. And of course, the TM moves won't help until after we beat Brock, and like most Pokemon in the game, Clefairy really doesn't have great options for Brock. So I do anticipate him being a massive hurdle. Let's see if I'm right. But first, a big thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Tyro, Legend of Whisperwood. The game is currently in development by two indie developers at Turtlevania Games. I'm really grateful that the devs have allowed me to play this alpha concept demo to give me a taste of the final game, but it will end up being a Souls-like Metroidvania that will have consequence-based choices, multiple ending, voice acting, which you'll be able to hear in the demo, and hundreds of characters. You'll play as Tyro, a small field mouse who must traverse Whisperwood both above the ground and below to try and find the source of the Glade Blight and save his friends. Like I said, I was able to play this concept demo of the game, which you can also play by clicking on the link in the description. The concept demo shows off the physics, which as someone who plays a ton of Mario, were definitely pretty good, as well as a cool boss fight, which I'll admit took me like half an hour, but I had a really good time, and I'm hoping that we'll see more of this game in the future. Like I said, this game is in active development. If you want to help the devs out, click on the link, go to the Steam store, and play the demo and wishlist the game. I, for one, really enjoyed what I played, and I'm really hoping development on this game continues, and we get to play a full version at some point. I don't even attempt Brock until level 13. Clefairy is actually in the fast level up group, and you can see I go for Sing. Now, here's the problem with going for Sing. It only has 55% accuracy, and Brock has 5 full heals per Pokemon. This is not true in any other game, just Red, Blue, and Yellow. So, wouldn't happen in Let's Go or Fire Red, Leaf Green, but here that's an issue. Now, if you were to use Sing 6 times, in theory, you could put Geodude to sleep, and sleep is very powerful, but not against Brock. And so we're just stuck using Pound, which, I mean, does 1 damage. So we're gonna have to level up a lot. Clefairy being in the fast level up group, you might think would mean it's the fastest to level up versus Brock. You'd actually be incorrect because of the way experience curves work. Fast actually is slower than the one the starters are in, medium slow. That's actually the best for Brock. I know it's weird, but Clefairy does take a while to level up. How long is a while? Well, I play these at 4 times speed. I've been transparent about that. But that takes 12 minutes IRL, so it would take about an hour if I were doing this normally. And for the record, I used to do that for every single video. And I used to be very proud of it. And now I look back and think, wow, who are you trying to prove anything to? Like, man, could you imagine doing 100? What are we at, 110? I don't know the order this is coming out in, but yeah, could you imagine? Anywho, with Onix, Sing is actually a more viable strategy because Onix is going to go for Bide. Also, with 15 Sings, even accounting for half of them missing, you should be able to put Onix to sleep. Once that happens, it's just pray for Pound, put it to sleep, pray for Pound, put it to sleep, pray for Pound, and it looks like we're gonna do it. Oh my god, we're gonna do now. It used Tackle. Now that might be disappointing, but what's worse is that we actually got extremely lucky in a bunch of different ways in that battle. So I tried like really a ton of times to get back to this point, and I never even got close, which kind of sucks because it's gonna hurt Clefairy in the long run. The truth is, though, I mean, my nebulous idea of quote-unquote consistency has always been something I've wanted in these runs. But with Clefairy, it's just so inconsistent. At level 18, it gets double slap, and that's when things become more consistent. The reason is, you're probably going to be doing just 1 damage with Pound unless you get crits. And good luck with Geodude using Defense Curl versus Tackle. And then Onix, good luck with Screeches, because Screech plus Tackle, once it uses 3 Screeches, it's horrible for you, even though we do have Growl. So, we can knock out Geodude, and then, again, the Sing strat makes the most sense. Just try to put Onix to sleep. Use the full heals, especially while biting. You just get infinite turns, but you also need a lot of luck with Sing hitting and hitting at the right times and Bide hitting at the right times. I also have to count. Counting is tough, but yeah, we use Pound when you run out of double slaps, and we actually got to that 1 HP mark at level 17 as well. But the honest to goodness truth was I would get maybe 1 in 10 attempts, and then I just wouldn't get even close. So this was not my first attempt at level 18, I'll let you know that. It was not even consistent at level 18. I wonder with Clefable, which starts with double slap, how it will be. But yeah, it really does suck for Clefairy that it just doesn't have a great move versus Brock, because coming up, we're gonna get the TM for Water Gun and the TM for Mega Punch. So when we skip ahead, we will have those moves for Misty at level 22. The problem is, we're not a very fast Pokemon, so Staryu gets a couple hits in, and then if Starmie cooperates, we're fine, but it didn't here, and I decided, I saved you can see outside of the Pokemon Center. There really isn't any extremely necessary reason to battle Misty first, so I actually just battle Rival 2. I could have 100%, oh, that meant to be Mega Punch. I could have 100% beaten Misty, but I figured there's no real point. Mega Punch is really good. It is same type, and we do also get Body Slam eventually, which is awesome, just not versus Agatha. And you can see that my rival is not a scary ogre whatsoever. He is able to be defeated by just a little Clefairy. So after I go and beat all the trainers on the way to Bill's house, I then, at a higher level, will beat Misty pretty easily. So I'm pretty sure. This time, because we're at level 26, we still don't outspeed. I thought we would. My bad. Anyway, still 2 hits, but we got next defend. And you can see Bubble Beam is doing much less damage. So even after 2 Bubble Beams, I think I could have taken, and I do take, hey, look at that, a 3rd Bubble Beam. So as I predicted, being at a higher level was super good for Misty. Now we have Bubble Beam, which is the strongest water move that Clefairy can learn. Thankfully, ice moves tend to cover the same niche, so we don't need Surf. Realistically, it would only help us versus Blaine, but typically we battle Blaine in a good spot in most of these runs, so I'm not overly worried. Just thought I'd mention that it's interesting how many good special moves we get, but Bubble Beam is the strongest water move. And in fact, in later generations, I think the strongest move Clefairy/Clefable gets is like Water Pulse. By the way, I just actually double-checked this. It is, in fact, Water Pulse. Technically, it's Bubble Beam if you transfer in a Clefable from the Gen 1 Virtual Console, but like, yeah, just interesting stuff, I think. To me, at least. Another massive difference between modern-day Clefairy and classic Clefairy is it's a normal type, so Body Slam is same type, which is good, because we're going to use it to absolutely destroy Rival 3. Now, note that Rival 3 pretty much universally outspeeds Clefairy, but the moves aren't strong enough to really do enough damage, and Clefairy is, well, considering how high level it is, bulky-ish, so it has a pretty easy time, and we're going to move on to Lieutenant Surge, because we're going to need Thunderbolt for the Slowpoke in Rock Tunnel. Also, it just makes sense to battle Surge here anyway. So, the plan is just to use Body Slam, Voltorb outspeeds, and okay, well, we can paralyze with Body Slam. Yay, Gen 1. Pikachu paralyzes me. That's not good. We're at level 30. Thunderbolt, Body Slam. Oh, well, didn't matter. Anyway, that was easy, as I expected. We are a little bit over-leveled, but we have the TM for Thunderbolt, and we have Bubble Beam. That means Rock Tunnel is going to be a total joke, so we can skip that. And we can pick it up in Celadon City, where Giovanni is probably still going to be a joke. We still have Bubble Beam. We're going to get Ice Beam relatively soon, and we can knock out Onyx. We can knock out Rhyhorn. Then for Kangaskhan, I'm going to go for Body Slam, but it outspeeds with Comet Punch. Of course, it gets a 5-turner. It's going to be a 3-hit. I decide to try another 5-turner, Thunderbolt, and then, are you kidding me? Okay, well, that was just horrifically bad luck that it went for Comet Punch 3 times and got 5 on 2 of them. 13 hits in 3 times is pretty nuts. Anyway, you can see how much Thunderbolt does because of Kangaskhan's low special, and it went for Rage there, which is what it normally does at some point, Rage being awful. But yes, that is Giovanni number 1. I'm surprised it took me 2 tries. And now I have a bunch of different things I could do. I'm going to go and get Fly, then Ice Beam. So I could go battle Erica, but I think I'm going to do Rival 4 first. Well, guess what? I changed my mind, decided to battle Erica, and it was a mistake because Victory Bell can outspeed and put me to sleep, and that was really stupid. Do I try? You know what? That was stupid. That was objectively really stupid. Okay, so I should... Oh, wait, I forgot to teach Fly. Another stupid thing. Just a comedy of errors here. No, not a big deal. Unlike the fully evolved Pokemon, as you'll notice when I show you the tier list, with first form Pokemon, they're not actually that close to each other. A, because there's a few less of them, but B, because it's just so hard to get through the Elite Four with first form Pokemon that they really do start to differentiate themselves from each other, which is why I originally wanted to do the challenge with just first form Pokemon, but hey, if you guys want to see 151 videos, I don't mind it. But anywho, that is Rival 4. I was talking so much, I didn't even get to experience the joy of how awful he is at literally everything he's ever done. I mean, I guess that's not true because he becomes the champion, but like that technically isn't Rival 4. Maybe there's just 6 different guys, like sextuplets. What's the lore behind the different rivals? We need to really delve into this. Who's that guy? Vsauce? I can be like J-Sauce? I've never seen the channel. Is it like, hi, J-Sauce here or something? I don't know. Anyway, let's move on to, I think, Koga. Well, guess what? I thought wrong. It's actually Erica because, oh yeah, I still have to beat her. And now we outspeed Victory Bell, Sleep Powder misses. And once that happens, we have an easy GG. Ice Beam will one-shot Tangela. We're already at level 40. And this is where the fast experience group starts to really pull ahead. We're going to gain levels way, way quicker than other Pokemon would, and that is going to help us because more levels mean more power, and more power means quicker victories, and quicker victories means a better time on the tier list. That was a mouthful. Now I'm actually going to battle Koga. Clefairy can learn Psychic, but I just want to see if I can do this without Psychic, because once I teach it, I'm locked in. So I'd have to get rid of either Sing or Body Slam or Ice Beam or Thunderbolt, and I'm not sure if I want to get rid of any of those right now. We get really good luck versus both Coughing 1 and Muck, and then we get a crit versus Coughing 2, and then we put Wheezing to sleep. We get poisoned, and we're doing like no damage, but Wheezing stays asleep long enough that I'm able to knock it out. First try victory, by the way. My first try victory other than Surge, who doesn't really count because it's Surge. So my first genuinely impressive first try victory for Clefairy, and I didn't even have to use Psychic. And again, people always question that. If TMs were relearnable like they were in Gen 5, I would just always have the best moves. But when I have to worry about losing the move, I get really cautious. Like, oh, well, if I delete Sing, am I going to need it later? I mean, Sing was valuable versus Koga. So I have to be cognizant of where I am in the game. By the way, Mewtwo had already won like a while ago. But I have to be cognizant of where I am in the game, what's coming up, and especially thinking to the Elite Four, whether Sing could be what helps me get through a tough battle much quicker than I'd expect. I mean, Sleep is super powerful, even if I don't outspeed. Well, time to head west in Silph Company to battle Fievel. And we are actually, oh, well, we don't outspeed, but we do outlevel, and we get the Paralysis and knock out Pidgeot. Now against Execute, we don't quite knock it out, but Potion, yay. And then Gyarados, we don't outspeed, but Thunderbolt, yay. Disable, okay, well, we're gonna win, yay. Now you might ask, why Charizard? Honestly, ooh, Rage is good. I think I flipped a coin. They're all 3 of the Pokemon. Venusaur is probably the worst, honestly, because we could just go for Psychic, but it did have Razor Leaf, so maybe I should have picked Venusaur. I don't know. Clefairy has good matchups against all of them. It learns Fire Blast. It learns Thunderbolt. And so it has a strong matchup against all of them, and none of them have a fighting move. Oh, wow. Look at that. Thunderbolt. Great play, J-Rose. But, yeah. The fact of the matter is, I didn't really know. Oh, actually, I think I have a full restore. Oh, yeah, I don't have to heal. That's going to save some time. So we can battle Giovanni number 2, and since Clefairy does have... Ooh, Psychic would help here, but since Clefairy has moves other than Psychic, it's still probably fine. Yeah, that should be good. I mean, now we have super... Well, Kangaskhan... Alright, Rage is fine. And... Oh, Guard Spec's even better. We're gonna win this easily. Ice Beam on Rhyhorn, and then Scratch, Ice Beam... Oh, wow. Good job, Clefairy. I'm actually a little excited for Clefable. It's not gonna do as well as you guys think, because in the fully evolved tier, there's way better, like, competition. It kind of sucks. Clefable's in an odd spot, because it just doesn't have the tools that something like an Alakazam has. Clefairy is probably going to be represented, like, better, sort of relatively speaking. I think Clefairy is looking pretty strong in the pre-evolved tier. So we'll see if that continues. Right now, we have Sabrina or Blaine. It doesn't really matter which one I battle first, but battling Blaine will make Sabrina easier for a couple of reasons. I do outspeed Growlithe. I'm still using Body Slam. It's so good. And I even get a badge boost, which actually won't matter now. Oh, I get another one. But yeah, these badge boosts are actually why... Oh, that's a bad one because I don't... All right, I have to go for Ice Beam. Fun little fact here. I'm not getting badge boosts for special, but fun little fact here. Ice Beam is neutral against fire in Generation 1. A lot of people don't know that because why would that be a thing? That just seems so weird. But it's a thing. Unfortunately, I do need Body Slam to be the move I use because it's just more powerful, so I can't afford Growl. If I see Growl, I just have to reset. But in our second attempt... Ooh, wait. We got burned. Okay, that's, like, worse than Growl. This may take... Okay, this might take a third attempt because we also can't get burned. I should have specified. That's my fault. I did not specify no Growl nor burn. Oh, there's Growl. Yeah, I think we're done. I'll try, because I don't want to reset. Maybe I can use Sing. We've been keeping it a while. I mean, you know, Sing will... It worked against Koga. And Ember... Actually, this could work again. Retroactive Super Potion makes no sense. And it's going to be a 5-shot. Look at the... Oh, wow, that's a Gen 1 miss. And then a Retroactive Potion. So it's like, what, an 8-shot? But hey, Sing worked. Let's go. This is why I keep it on my Pokemon, putting things to sleep. Super cheap. Next, we have Sabrina. Now, the big problem with her is we're not going to outspeed. Disabling Thunderbolt is fine. That's the first Pokemon down. Double Slap is fine. It's going to be a 2-shot, and then Light Screen is fine too. Venomoth, Stun Spore is less fine. We actually paralyze it, but we do attack again. Then Alakazam. Maybe I should try putting it to sleep. Psybeam. Okay, we're fine. Ah, God. All right, come on. There we go. Recover, recover. But we were able to recover. Actually, we weren't really in any danger. But I guess the paralysis, but we weren't technically able. Anyway, we won. Yay. The last trainer is Giovanni. And with Ice Beam, we should be fine. So not really much to say. Oh, I'm in Pewter. That's the wrong place. As we battle Giovanni, notice Clefairy hasn't really had to do any extra leveling. Oh, Sand Attack is bad. But we haven't had to do any extra leveling after Brock, which is really impressive and speaks to how good Clefairy is. Remember, Ghastly and Poliwag didn't need a single extra battle, although if I had done them again, I would have used extra battles to speed things up. We look on the ropes, but looks like we're going to be fine, and we are. That Tail Whip sped us up. What a weird statement. And we beat Giovanni on our first try. And now we have to go and battle Rival 6. So Rival 6, we have moves for every single one of his Pokemon, minus Alakazam, where we just have to use Body Slam. However, I do think this is where potentially being underleveled, 419 is really good, by the way, may hurt us. Let's see if that's the case. So, Pidgeot, we're going to go for... All right, it outspeeds, and then Wing Attack, Quick Attack. So, we're already down to about 2/3 of our health. Ice Beam, we knock out Rhyhorn. Ice Beam, we knock out Execute. Gyarados, we don't outspeed. We're down to 71, and it doesn't one-shot. That's really bad. And that means, ooh, first turn recover, paralysis. Are we going to win? Doesn't matter if we use Ice Beam or Thunderbolt. I go for Sing. It went for Rage. We won. We won. Sing proved really good. I was going for the Hail Mary there, and it worked out. Also, look at that beating Ledge Boss. Just great. But there we go with Sing. It's why I haven't deleted it. We can't get it back. And now we have to deal with the Elite Four. So every single member of the Elite Four, in theory, could be decent against us, but we also have moves against every single one of them. So how's this going to go? Don't you want to know? On with the show. All right, let's just show you. So I decide not to use rare candies. We are under-leveled now, and I don't think this is going to work. Although we are going to knock out Dugong. The question is what happens after this. Oh, well, that was unfortunate. Okay, we knock it out, and Aurora Beam, we might, nah, we're done. Slowbro can use Water Gun and knock us out. We do outspeed. Oh, didn't knock us out. So we made it to Jinx. Not bad, but yeah, we're going to need to level up here. The question is, well, how much? See, if I rare candy now, potentially I'm wasting levels. Because if I need to level up a lot more, we're going to want to battle trainers first and then use the rare candies. By the way, if you ever see my character just stopped, I'm usually talking to chat and I'll instantly reset. Usually we edit those parts out, but it's come up in some of the videos where it just happens to be left in. I'm streaming these attempts live on my Twitch, and occasionally people have things to say, but that's why I say frequently, and if I'm ever talking and distracted, I just reset, meaning no time is being wasted. Okay, so attempt number 2, we are now outspeeding and out-leveling Dugong. The Growl's actually going to help us. We're at level 63. We one-shot Cloyster. We're going to two-shot Slowbro. Amnesia doesn't matter. Jinx, we're going to have to go for Body Slam. It still outspeeds, but we... Oh, well, the crit probably mattered. And then Lapras, it's going to be a two-shot. We don't get frozen. Easy peasy. We're at level 64. That's the perfect time to level up. We're going to use a full restore. Now, I could use Psychic here, but let's see what happens if I don't. So, Onyx, we're going to go for Ice Beam. Easy peasy. Hitmonchan, we're going to actually go for Thunderbolt because they have such low special. It's a two-shot. Then X-Defend. So, Hitmonlee outspeeds us. High Jump Kick. Oh, no. A loss to Bruno. Jeez. That's a bit of a problem. It's because Hitmonlee outsped, and we didn't one-shot, and a crit, but we don't see that happen very often. Holy. Well, surely in our next attempt at Bruno, we're going to prove that was just a fluke. I mean, I have Psychic now, and you can see everything's good. Focus Energy, Psychic, there's Hitmonlee. We don't need Ice Beam anymore because we have Blizzard, and that's 2 losses to Bruno. I mean, I am a normal Pokemon, but yikes on bikes. That's, all right, I think it's time to level up a little bit. Before I do realize I wasn't at full HP, so I just want to try one more time. Again, I've deleted Ice Beam because we have Blizzard, which is more powerful and 90 accurate. We get Hitmonlee with missing Mega Kick, so this is going to be a problem. But, oh my god, it's a Gen 1 miss, and we're fine. So, we're going to make it to Agatha. This is where I really need to know how things are going to go. Because Agatha, I'm going to have to use Psychic. I'm going to be outsped. And this could go really, really, really poorly. Let's see how really, really, really poorly. So, I go for Sing to try and put Gengar to sleep, and I get Golbat. I put it to sleep and knock it out. That was never a problem. Then I go for Sing, but I miss once. I put it to sleep on the second attempt, but it wakes up right away. And since it's a two-shot, I realize it's probably best just to avoid Sing in this scenario. Of course, Haunter is Hypnosis, which is even more accurate than Sing. But thankfully, it swaps, and then the Arbok proceeds to do nothing until I wake up. Well, it does go for 1 Acid. I then go for Sing, but Haunter puts me to sleep first. And as I predicted, it went really, 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 really badly. I have now lost to every single Elite Four member, which means I probably should not be at this level. I'm going to battle Agatha again. I'm a couple levels higher. I went to the Fighting Dojo. Remember, I don't use my rare candies, so I can do that. And this time we knock out Gengar number 1, but we are confused. Haze will eliminate that confusion. Also the badge boost, which is unfortunate. So we're doing a little bit less damage than we should, but it's still two-shotting everything. Arbok does outspeed. I think that wouldn't happen, and I think we would one-shot. I went to save power points and went for Thunderbolt. What a mistake, because Gengar was able to confuse me, poison me, and I think we're done here. Oh, wait, maybe not, because poison doesn't happen after we knock it out. Super Potion. Wow. Wow. Okay, well, I was expecting a loss there. That's kind of crazy. But now, J-Rose, please don't forget. There we go. Good pass, J-Rose, remembering Blizzard. So we're going to delete Psychic. We no longer need it. That was the one place we needed it. We also have a power point up in case we miss. And how is Lance going to be? He could also be really annoying. So, Lance leads with Gyarados. Hyper Beam, yikes. And no crit. So that's a bad thing. It does half with no crit, meaning a crit will knock us out. We do outspeed in one shot the 2 Dragonair, and then I go for Blizzard, Supersonic misses, and I hit, and then Hyper Beam, yeah. That's a problem. That's a problem. Dragonite outsped and Hyper Beamed. We theoretically could have gotten something like a Leer Miss or a Bite or a Dragon Rage from Gyarados, but that was close to the best case scenario, and we still lost. We probably need to outspeed the Dragonite at the very least, I would say. It took a while to get back to Lance. Agatha was brutal, as you could expect, and we're at level 69, a nice level. And you'll notice one thing that's important is we outspeed the Gyarados. That's huge. And then we still outspeed Dragonair. That's not going to change, and we don't miss. We're never going to outspeed Aerodactyl, and this time Supersonic hits, so we have a 50-50 chance of an easy victory, and we get a Blizzard miss. But then we snap out of confusion and Dragonite never attacked. Hooray! So now we've made it to the champion. First time for that, we're at level 70. We've had to battle a lot of extra trainers. We have had an easy time up to the Elite Four, but our slow speed has cost us. Hopefully it won't cost us here, but there's only one way for us to find out. Okay, so versus Pidgeot, I want to go for Blizzard. Mirror Move goes first and fails. Blizzard one-shots. Alakazam, Psybeam, crit, confused. Body Slam paralyzes, hidden confusion, recover. We're still actually okay. Now we're not. Now we're not okay. It sucks. Very unfortunate. It's taken us 2 hours of real time, which is quite long to get here. Brock's a big part of that, but man, it's very frustrating. You can see here that I use the rare candies before every attempt because I don't know if I have to go back into the world, maybe fight some swimmers. Now, one thing that's great about Clefairy is because of its big moveset, the optional battles go very fast, which is good for Clefairy. Most pre-evolved Pokemon need optional battles, by the way. After 4 more losses to Agatha, I leveled up one more time. I was able to beat her on my next attempt and make it back past Lance to the champ. So now we're at level 73. Sky Attack? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Ugh, that's just my luck. Anyway, let's hope... Oh, Gen 1 miss. Never mind. Oh, Psychic. Oh, Special... Oh, that's... Special Falling's a problem. We do one-shot Rhydon, and Executor now is going to be a 3-shot, which is... Oh, well, now it's going to be a million shot. Ooh, nice crit. Wait. Is this still going to one-shot? No. But, all right. Well, that would have been cool, but we could not get that special drop. If we can make it consistently back at this level, I think we have this. The issue hasn't been the champ, though. It's been losing to Agatha again and again and again and again and again and again and again, which it's boring to show you because you know what happens. Agatha puts me to sleep, and then I just can't attack because I'm slower. So how does leveling up help? Well, I mean, it helps in multiple ways. For Gengar number 1, not immensely, just because there's not much really I can do. But against Golbat, it does. I can also go, if I go for Thunderbolt and it swaps, it's a 2-shot, which is nice. And we one-shot Arbok now, even post-Haze, which is pretty good. We still aren't outspeeding anything or one-shotting anything, but the extra HP helps versus Nightshade, and the extra HP helps when I hit myself in confusion. So it does make things a little bit easier. It also makes the other battles a little bit more consistent, including Lance, who's, I mean, I wouldn't say a joke, right? Like, Lance is still potentially a run ender. That's the thing that really sucks, is that at any point, our run could end. Now, you might be saying, but J-Rose, you haven't used Sing. Is there not a better move? And there was Defense Curl. I thought Sing would be better, but in retrospect, a single Defense Curl would have been great versus Agatha. Probably would have given me enough speed to at least outspeed Haunter. Instead, I stuck with Sing, and it hasn't really done much for me up to this point. A bit of an oversight, although we're breezing through this Lance battle, and now we've made it to the champion for the third time. We have gotten some of the worst luck, although we did get a 1 in 256 Generation 1 miss, but we still gotten some of the worst luck. Can we get average luck? Let's find out. So we're gonna go for Blizzard. Yay, it hits. Okay, that's good. Alakazam Reflect. Okay, paralyzed, but we're not doing as much damage due to that Reflect. Then we get really lucky. It goes for another Reflect. We didn't knock it out. That was unlucky, but that's great. We're at full HP. The game is probably over. We go for Blizzard. Rhydon's gone. Then I'm going to go for Sing. Oh, no. It puts me to sleep. That's what I didn't want to happen. We wake up immediately. Barrage misses. This time I just go for Blizzard, and Barrage hits. Blizzard. Okay, fine. Sing was a mistake. Shouldn't have used it. We're going to one-shot Gyarados with Thunderbolt, and then Uh-oh. It outspeeds. Uh-oh. And then slash crit. All right, Blizzard, come on! No, it didn't one-shot! And Fire Spin, and full restore! In between the Fire Spins, I can't move! Rage, wait. No, I gotta put it to sleep. I gotta put it to sleep because it'll boost its attack. Come on, yes! Sing! I sing! Can you hear the J-Rose sing? Singing the songs of winning then. It's the story of a moveset he wouldn't use again. All right, I'm done. But yeah, Sing ended up being pretty... It would have been nice if it hit right away, but Rage keeps getting stronger. The opponent has to keep going for it. It has no other opportunities to do anything but go for Rage. So it's like the worst move. But if I had used Thunderbolt there, Rage might have done enough to knock me out. Probably not. I really should have had Defense Curl. Anyway, we won! Yay! So this was a long run that was imperfect. And a lot of people expect every run I do to be perfectly perfect with no mistakes and me just making the best move of it every time, but sadly that doesn't always happen, and yet still Clefairy did really well. I'm sure there will be some mild controversy here. My thoughts are to put Clefairy in the top 10 right now, but you could argue that I got some bad luck versus Brock. Maybe I could have kept going again and again and again. I didn't want to do that. And perhaps if I Defense Curl, I may have been able to outspeed and beat Agatha a little quicker. That's somewhat debatable, but I really did think a sleep move would be overpowered, but the 55 accuracy, it just really made it unusable, so that was a bit of an oversight. I love sleep. In the end, I think Clefairy maybe could have been where Horsey is, but that's about it. I just don't see Clefairy really realistically being in the top non-Ghastly tier. All those Pokemon are fairly low leveled, and I just don't think it was possible for Clefairy, especially when you consider how bad Dragonite was, Bruno was. I do think Clefairy probably, maybe because of my own mistakes, lost a few ranking points, but that's why it's a tier list and not a rank. I mean, I know I do a ranking, but that's why it is a tier list, because at least then, even if I'm a little off one day, Clefairy finds itself somewhere between Horsey and Rattata. I think that's fair. Anyway, there are only 6 pre-evolved Pokemon to go. That is insane to me. Can you guess in the comments what they are? I mean, I already know, but can you guess? I actually mentioned them in a previous video. But if you don't remember, can you guess? Anyway, I'm going to go back to making videos. I have a lot of them to make this month. Take care, everyone. Bye.